Do you get nervous when you go to the dentist? If you do, you need to watch the next 2 minutes of this video. My name's Jonathan Bradshaw and welcome to this week's Metology Minute. Yes, hello again from the USA, hence the change in background. I'm not back in the office for a few weeks, but what I do have, as usual, is some great insights on social skills. Now, this week's social skill relates to your dentist. When you go and see him or her, how do you feel? And do you smell? Because it relates to body odour. Did you know that humans actually can pick up the smells of other people, especially when they relate to negative emotions? So if you're feeling anxious, if you have anxiety, it's possible that another human being can pick this up. It's quite unconscious. It's very difficult for humans to actually identify the smell, but it's certainly been proven. Well, this week's insight relates to this and comes from New Scientist magazine. And they're quoting some really interesting research from, let's get this right, the International School for Advanced Studies in Trieste in Italy. They did some research into how dentist performance is affected by the smell of the patient they are working on. They got 24 students to wear t-shirts, both in a very relaxed, informal setting, listening to a lecturer, and then separately in a very difficult and very important exam. They then put these two sets of t-shirts onto mannequins that dentists who are practicing practice on. And they found that the t-shirts that had been worn by the people at the stressful exam, the dentists who were actually working on the mannequins wearing those t-shirts tended to make more mistakes. Again, I love this, when this science doesn't seem to make sense or can't possibly be right, that's when I love it. It's really interesting stuff. So, the upshot of this is if you go to the dentist feeling anxious and worried, they may pick that up and they may, unfortunately, not work as well on your teeth as they would have done if you'd been feeling calm. Not something you can identify or maybe change immediately. Well, perhaps not immediately, but you can work on, certainly work on lowering your anxiety rates. We do that as part of our training at the Metology Masterclass. There's lots of science behind how to do that. And certainly in the dentist situation, that would seem to be appropriate. I'll be back in a week's time with some more metology, but in the meantime, do not hesitate to head over to metology.com and sign up to receive these weekly Metology Minutes direct to your inbox, exploring the fascinating science powering exceptional people skills. Have a great 7 days, and I'll see you in a week's time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.